Hello Guild Wars 2 gamers, Mukluk here, and another video in the Guild Wars 2 Spears beta test, where we are beta testing the weapons coming out in the next expansion. This one showcasing the NG Spear. First off, for anyone who doesn't already know what it does, what does it do? It is a Condi weapon. The first hit, the first attack chain is lots of bleeding. It also does vuln if the target is focused. What is focused? Anyone you've recently hit with your 2, which is a movement skill, gets this electric arc above them. Whatever has that is your focus. So basically just think of it as, if there's a group of mobs, whatever you have got that on will take more damage usually, all right? And it's really easy to keep up because the 1 refreshes it. Your auto attacks keep refreshing it. I just did a strength mission with this, and it never fell off after I put it on my target until there was like a phase and, the target went invulnerable or something like that. And that brings us to the 2. The 2 puts focused on a target, and it's also a movement skill, and it's a sizable burn. If the target is focused, it does 16k burning with max boons, and if they're unfocused, it does 12k. So the first one does 12k, but each subsequent time it does 16, and it's a movement skill on a short 6-second cooldown, and it's a leap finisher. The 2 is very fun to use. You just kind of like electric slide across the arena wherever you need to be. It was a very enjoyable skill. 3 is lightning rod. The first click of the 3 does this thing around you. Zap, 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 zap. Now, whether it's zapping or not zapping, after it expires, it becomes this thing. And hitting 3 again says charge. And it fires at the enemy like a missile. Now, if it is fully charged, it will do more damage. So let me see if I can do this, and I'm just going to wail on this thing for a minute until the tooltip changes. And it changed, there we go. And you can see there's a whole bunch of conditions there, and then you just launch the thing. Nasty. Lots of dots, and I believe an immobilize as well. And you can precast it. Now, so if you're like about to go into a fight, you can do this as your group is getting ready. And then right when the fight starts, you can launch it. Now, it will do less damage because it didn't like do damage while charging up, but you can precast it, which I anticipate we might see something on that in like upcoming guides that are going to be using the spear. The auto attack sounds weird. It's because I'm using the legendary spear, which has got the shark theme, so you're hearing lots of like watery squishy sounds. It's also the reason why every time I crit, you see a shark come out of the ground. However, if it is distracting you, all right, there we go. And if any of you were liking the sharks, then Malik is the person you should hate. Okay. The 4th skill is a power attack, and it does have decent modifiers. It's for 2200 base. If I do that, it does a little bit of damage. However, we are a Condi build. The rest of the weapon is Condi. You're going to use this if you are Condi. So the 4 is not going to do a sizable hit. I would imagine the average DPS engineer, DPS Condi engineer, is going to want to save the 4 for CC. Now, that brings us to the next point. It says 732 CC. That is a lie. Don't fall for it. What they did is they said this will launch a focused foe. Remember, focus is something that has that thing on it, and anyone around it that's not focused will get stunned. And then the tooltip, for some reason, has a launch in it. It has a launch and it has a knockdown. I said that wrong. The launch should be there. The stun should be there. The knockdown, I have no idea where that's from. And then it says 732 Defiance Break, which I think they've added all of the different things this skill does into one Defiance Break, which it does not possibly hit one enemy for 732 break bar damage. But this is your CC. It's not that cracked out. Okay, so just know that. But the 4, it does this big cone. It's very cool graphic. A lot of like rubble and gears and electricity comes out of the ground for a second. It is a stun. It is a stun or launch or knockdown. In any case, it makes the target unable to play Guild Wars 2 for a couple seconds, and it is your CC and PvE. All right, the 5 skill. The 5 skill is a short mobility. So you could see I can go that far. That's maximum range. And you hop over there, and then there's a big crash, right? Now, if there is a focused target, I'm gonna zip over there, and I'm gonna focus that, and I do that again, a lot of the lightning is drawn to that target, and it gets hit with a lot of burning. It gets hit with a lot of burning. So I'm going to run over here real quick for a second and reset this so we can see the tooltips, and does 12,000 burning to a focused enemy. It's also a blast finisher. One thing I'm going to clear on is it says traverse the area and unleash lightning around you, directly targeting focused foes a number of times. So I'm not sure if that means the unfocused foes don't get the burning, or if they get less, but in any case, there is verbiage here, that the focused foe is going to be getting hit with more of it. So how do you use this weapon? You face roll it, except the 4 you save for CC. So if we're going to use this in an actual fight, we would use the 2 to charge in, we're going to hit the 3, we're going to hit the 5, I'm going to use my signet to do some damage, going to get the pet on there, I'm going to use grenade 2, 4, 5, put the grenade kit away, hit 2, hit 3, and then I'm going to go back to grenade, hit 2, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to hit 3 again, and I'm going to hit 2 again, and go back to grenade, hit 2 again, and go back to this, launch the lightning rod, hit the 5, hit the 2, and go to grenade and hit 2 and use the signet and 5 and 4, and we're at almost 30k damage right now, and I'm just fumbling around. I don't even have the right food buff. When I was doing this earlier, I managed to get to like 33k, and I hadn't played my engineer in a while. I'm using Condi Mech because everyone knows mech is pretty chill to play. I wanted to focus on the spear and not focus on trying to remember how to play my engineer, so I did Condi Mech. You could easily use this as Condi any engineer just fine. So bottom line, there is virtually no utility on this spear. This is damage, 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 CC, damage. All right, there are fields, there are combos, there is a mobility button, which is really nice. Again, this has some mobility, but this is more a huge damage thing, so that is not what that's about. So it's just a damage thing. This would compete with double pistols if you were a Condi build, or like sword pistol probably, if you were, you know, playing one of your engineer DPS builds. But talking, you know, putting aside the talk on numbers for just a second, how did it feel? It felt fun. It felt fun. The theme is fun. The eye candy, the sound design is really fun. The 2, you know, electric sliding around the arena every 6 seconds. Like, you know, we were in, I took this into Temple of Phoebe, had to occasionally like run out, you know, pick up an orb or something, and then I just slam right back into the boss, you know, so I'd lose a couple seconds of DPS time running away to do a mechanic, and then I just slam right back. And it felt really good to use. Also, if we needed to split up, I could zip away. The 6-second dash is one of the funnest things about it, in my opinion. Lightning Rod is kind of a novel thing. It's like you just hit 3, and then after a little bit of time, you hit 3 again, and you eat the thing. Nothing super crazy there. But yeah, it's just lots of dots, lots of damage, and a CC when you need it. Nothing too crazy here. I found it to be a fun weapon. I think it was enjoyable, and yeah, there's not much to add. I was almost torn on should I even make a video on this one, and then I finally broke down. I was like, I guess I will, because it just seemed it's just damage, 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 CC damage. You know, there wasn't a lot to say, but I'll say it felt good to use. It felt very fluid. It was fun to play, and that's, you know, the goal of any video game. I think bottom line is I'm kind of curious what the math nerds are gonna say. You know, once you know, Snow Crows and Valen and people like that get, you know, crunch the numbers, how will they say this compares to its competitors? You know, how does this compare to pistols or just grenade kit, bomb kit, stuff like that? I am curious to see how that turns out. I'm not the number cruncher, so I'll see what they say. But as long as it is keeping up with them, I think this will be very enjoyable to use. The pistols, of course, have the ranged advantage a little bit, but, you know, this does have mobility and a leap finisher and a blast finisher in the kit as well, so that's kind of nice. And it has a little bit of range damage with the when you hurl the lightning rod, and then the 2 and the 5 are gap closers, so those are nice. But yeah, it was fun. And as far as PvP and World v World, I have no idea. I'm not sure how well it would work in there, but all my testing today was focused on a PvE DPS scenario. And if you've got anything to add about Engineer Spears, put them in the comment section down below, because I'm not perfect, I miss things, and I will fight you there.